In this house, there's some hoes in this house, there's some hoes in this house. I said certified freak, 7 days a week, wet ass pussy, make that pull out game weak.
Hi everyone, welcome to Slash Feminism. I'm Dr. Maria Chavez Daza, and I'm here because I want to discuss hip hop feminism with you all. I work in the Africana and Latino Studies program, and before I start my presentation, I want you to consider, based on the song, of course, WAP by Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, who has a WAP and why it matters. So we're going to go ahead and get started by looking at who are hip hop feminists. So hip hop feminists, according to Dr. Poe, who works at Syracuse University in the Women and Gender Studies department there, and is one of the main scholars who works on hip hop feminism, and specifically within the rhetorical tradition and women's studies. And she states in one of her articles, which will be linked on this video, is that hip hop feminists do more than listen to rap music and feel conflicted about it. Hip hop feminists are people who are immersed in hip hop culture and experience hip hop as a way of life, and hip hop as a culture in turn influences their worldview or approach to life. And so I just, think about what role hip hop has in your life, right? And whether or not you could be a hip hop feminist, and if hip hop, is such a part of your own life, that you are immersed in the culture and can have a complicated relationship to it. So, as a hip hop feminist, what are the things that hip hop feminists have advocated for or have critiqued about hip hop? And so she gives us 3 different critical engagements with hip hop that she says most people fall into. So either you could be the first kind of hip hop feminist who just condemns sexism in rap and encourage others to do so. Then you could be someone who has complicated analyses that think about how the larger societal structures contribute to rap sexism, production, and consumption. And last, you could be a third wave feminist who critiques that question, who critiques and question how you can be a child of the hip hop generation but still love the music and still critique it actively and speak out against sexism. So how do we engage in hip hop even as we see some of the things that are wrong within it, specifically around women? So this is important because it gives you a sense of the approaches that hip hop feminists have had to hip hop. But today, I want to focus on an article written by the Crunk Feminist Collective, which the link will be in the bio, and I hope you will have a moment to read before we discuss. So it's called Pussy Don't Fail Me Now, The Place of Vaginas in Black Feminist Theory and Organizing. And it isn't authored by any one person. It is just posted on the blog of the collective. The collective is one of the voices that emerged about 5 years ago, or a little bit more than 5 years ago now, where hip hop feminism in the way that, the last point that I made in the previous slide is working. So basically, a place where hip hop feminists are thinking about hip hop in a complicated way, but still engaging with it. So not, embracing, for example, Cardi B and Jay-Z and Beyonce, and also like Nicki Minaj, right? And thinking about the role of of hip hop in everyday TV. So, like, for example, also talking about Love and Hip Hop um, in New York, and then as it grew into other places, like engaging what it meant to watch this reality TV show. But this particular article is really interested in thinking about post-Trump election. So it was written in 2017 in January, right after his inauguration and right after the women's marches where people wore pussy hats, and thinking about whether or not we don't have to be pussy. Should we continue to be pussy centric when we think about feminist theory and organizing? And so that's an interesting question, right? And specifically, the person writing is interested in thinking about how can I be pussy centric and not be transphobic. Um, and so they're really concerned over, like, if I'm talking about vaginas, am I, being trans exclusionary? And it's interesting because she also gives us this idea, these three points of departure within feminism that have informed her relationship to her vagina. So first of all, feminism taught her to love her vagina. Second, about hip hop feminism gave her the courage to use the word pussy when needed um, to make requests in the bedroom, right? So, like, this sexually empowering moment that is not um, within the bounds of respectability. And then last, right, thinking about the historical politics of selling hot pussy, and specifically Bell Hooks' writing on it, which the link will be on the bottom of this video. So, and how Black women's bodies have been used as a symbol of deviant sexuality, or just a receptacle of very explicit sexuality, in which the white gaze and desire could be placed upon for consumption as an object versus a subject. And so she's thinking about all these three different ways that feminism has engaged, right, with the idea of the vagina and the pussy and sex, right, and eroticism and sexuality. And so she's interested in how now, in this, like, moment where we're critiquing white feminism as well for being trans exclusionary, right? So a TERF is a trans exclusionary feminist who doesn't truly support or believe the claim, the experiences of trans people. And so she's really, really invested in the article to not do that. But it's still, I think, in doing that, I think she's still adhering to the idea that our anatomical bodies are determinant of something about our gender, and she is, I think, contributing to the invisibility of trans folks with vaginas specifically within the article. So one of the things that she doesn't consider, and I think that I want you all to consider, and something that I'm constantly trying to consider in my own life, is that we live in a transphobic society, and we are transphobic, right? Even this idea of empowering the pussy, right, and not seeing how that's related to trans folks, or centering the pussy, or theorizing from the vagina, is really about, not in itself harmful, right? Because there is a long history of abuse and neglect about vaginas, even within the medical industrial complex, right? But centering the vagina doesn't mean that we can't center the experiences of everyone with vaginas, right? So men, women, and gender nonconforming folks all have vaginas. And so if we undo the idea that vaginas equals women, right, which in many ways in the article, while the author is thinking about trans women as well, they're excluding other folks with vaginas. And when we do that, it means that we can't organize around the things that we need as people with vaginas, right? So, for example, we need healthcare, right? We need birth control, we need birthing facilities, we need birthing support, we need pads, we need tampons, and we just need a general awareness that lots of people experience their life living with this body part, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to structure their gender identity in a way that only equals women. And I think that doing this kind of work and understanding how many different people have always and do have vaginas can really inform our organizing, right? And our theory. And so, what does it mean to have a common experience with people who may not look out like you, who may not even have the same politics as you, but still need access um, to these things, right? Still need access to the same things that we all need access to, like access to abortion, which is very much on the table um, with the nomination for the Supreme Court currently, right? So I think it's a wonderful article in the sense that, I mean, I think it's a wonderful article as a call for cis people to consider this, right? It's not a wonderful article in terms of, how it tries to uphold trans women, but also invisibilizes other trans experiences and gender nonconforming people. But she's very, very open to listening to that critique, right? When she says like, I don't, like I'm not here to like engage in ideas of that trans exclusionary feminists do, which invalidate trans women. I'm just here to talk about like my own relationship to my vagina, which is fine, but we have to take it a step further. So in doing that, we have to talk about trans invisibility and specifically within hip hop and how we just don't see, right, where trans people are. But of course, trans people are there, right? Of course, there's trans musicians and there's trans rap artists. And actually, there is an up and coming record label collective called Trans Trenders. And if you go to transtrenders.com, you'll see that this is their homepage that says Black Trans Music Matters. And then you can enter it and see all of their work. And so they also recently were able to pair up with producers in New York City to actually work with trans musicians and to create records and to elevate and make visible the work that trans musicians are doing. So I'm going to show you a video by Trans Trenders, the collective. This is actually the entire collective working together. This is the work cited, and this will be linked on the video as well. So I look forward to our conversations, and I hope that we can have really fruitful ones. So I'm going to leave you with a little bit of the video, and then I will see you at our talk back.
Late night chillin', Netflix blazing, smart lights dimming till I like I play so magic. Cause I got her match this fancy trophy white fall on her sheets, my face in her pillowcase when she got lost inside of me. Yeah, she wants me to switch it up, get on her knees for daddy before turning into a top. Yeah, trans on trans on trans, get it in while I'm rolling up. Yeah, getting it while I'm rolling up. Yeah, tell me what you wanna do, tell me what you wanna do. 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 This is the